According to early weekly spoilers for Young and the Restless, Summer Newman, Hunter King, made a significant choice that might bring Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, and his ex-girlfriend Lola Rosales, Sasha Cal, closer. On the CBS soap opera, there is a ladies' showdown and a lot of drama centered around Adam. Next week's I&R spoilers indicate that Summer Newman makes a choice that takes everyone by surprise, even Kyle. Until Kyle's divorce is finalized, will Summer distance herself from him? Fans of Summer Kyle may be alarmed, but don't be. The problem is that COVID prohibits close contact. In order to justify her separation from her honey Kyle, the CBS Sudzer is putting a stop to relationships, including Summer Newman's, and fabricating drama. So, when Summer unexpectedly becomes close to his estranged wife on Young and the Restless, you may expect to see him unhappy. In Young and the Restless spoilers for the following week, Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, departs for Kansas following a distressing meeting with his new psychiatrist. Then, Chelsea Newman, Melissa Claire Egan, and Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, pursue him. Regretfully, it appears that his fiancée may interfere with some Chatham activities. See how Young and the Restless fared. However, according to the most recent information, Chelsea is surprised to learn of Sharon and Adam's situation in Kansas. That ought to be okay. According to spoilers, Summer Newman's choice early in the week causes Lola to challenge Kyle, which upsets the balance later. Meanwhile, the attractive chef approaches Tyler Johnson's character, Theo Vanderway. By the conclusion of the week, Kyle and Lola have a furious argument that could endanger his relationship with Summer on Young and the Restless. In order to fill airtime until love sequences are approved once more, it appears that the CBS writers are rearranging these four into a sexless quadrangle. Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, isn't over Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, at Chancellor Media. He handles a dilemma with Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinel, on Young and the Restless earlier in the week. It has to do with a small medical emergency that helps them get along. By the end of the week, Lily had something to say about Billy's lack of effort. According to spoilers on Young and the Restless, is he spending more time plotting than Chancellor? Recall that on Bly and R, they are reportedly experimenting with a potential Billy-Lily coupling. According to previews for Young and the Restless, Michelle Stafford's character Phyllis Summers is busy planning her next business venture. She is motivated by Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, and implements her scheme. Sadly, Melissa Ordway's character Abby Newman meddles in Phyllis' affairs. Love triangles are virtually a sport in Genoa City, and the Young and the Restless will demonstrate this in spectacular way the next week. Summer Newman is about to lose control of her life, and the shock she gives Kyle Abbott could alter their relationship forever. In the meantime, Kyle might find himself drawn closer than he had planned by Lola Rosales' understated charm and strength. What starts out as a glimmer of nostalgia quickly turns into a full-fledged emotional storm that breaks everyone's heart. Allison Lanier's character, Summer Newman, has never shied away from the limelight or the mayhem that surrounds her. The typically self-assured Newman Harris, however, has been on the verge of something spectacular lately. She has made an effort to move on from the past, especially her traumatic breakup with Kyle, but it's obvious that her sentiments haven't gone away. The following week, Summer discovers that she is keeping a secret that might alter her ex-husband's life, and not always in a positive way. Her actions cause her family and Newman Media to take notice, particularly when she begins avoiding inquiries on her most recent out-of-town trip. Never one to overlook a little drama, Michelle Stafford's character Phyllis Summers realizes right on that her daughter is concealing something. There is a lot of talk in town about Summer's shocker, perhaps involving more than just her romantic life. Is she keeping something from Kyle or perhaps his former partner, Lola Rosales, Sasha Cal? During a heated interaction with Kyle at Society, Summer's restless energy reaches its apex. Their exchange is kind enough at first, but Summer's face reveals all when he casually brings up Lola's name. Before she can conceal it, her expression displays the jealousy, longing, and regret. Summer tries, but fails terribly, to appear detached as she replies, "Don't tell me you've been seeing her again." When Kyle, Michael Mealer, realizes she's still far more impacted than she wants to acknowledge, she freezes. For Summer, His silence may be the greatest heartache of all. It speaks louder than words ever could. Even decent guys get lost when old feelings come back, but Kyle has always been the good guy, loyal, romantic, and ready to do the right thing. Something that he believed was buried within of him has been roused by his recent meetings with Lola. It begins simply enough. Lola is assisting Sharon with a charity cooking event at Crimson Lights when Kyle runs into her. The two strike up a casual discussion as they recall their mutual love of eating and their innocent aspirations before the world and their family's complicated things. "Do you still have my favorite sandwich in mind?" Kyle asks, half smiling. Lola's dark eyes soften as she smiles. "You're referring to the one you use to order daily just to watch me smile." Kyle, some things never change. That tiny, delicate moment sows a seed that grows more quickly than either of them anticipated. As the week goes on, Kyle and Lola come up with new reasons to cross paths, including lending a hand at neighborhood fundraisers, catching up on friends, or just getting coffee together. Summer can no longer conceal her jealousy after learning that Kyle and Lola have been hanging out. During a heated fight at Jabot, she snaps at Kyle, saying he's going on like none of it mattered. "Maybe I'm just tired of chasing something that was already over, Summer," responds Kyle in frustration. Perhaps Lola serves as a reminder of what tranquility feels like. Summer felt like she was slapped by those words. The lady who always took satisfaction in being ahead of the game suddenly realizes that she is losing him once more. And this time it could be permanent. Lola Rosala's return to Genoa City has already generated a lot of buzz, but next week, her influence will grow in unexpected ways. She is now smarter, more grounded, and more focused on her goals as a chef. Business investors have taken notice of her new restaurant concept, notably Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, who sees potential in her professionalism and enthusiasm. In order to discuss a possible partnership between Jebot and her restaurant business, Jack urges Kyle to meet with Lola. At the very least, it begins as a commercial choice. However, when feelings are involved, business quickly becomes personal. Lola is reluctant to reunite with Kyle. She recalls the betrayal, the heartache, and the effort it took to put herself back together following their breakup. However, her determination is weakened when she sees him again. He is older, more reflective, and obviously dealing with his own feelings. In a private phone call with her brother, Ray Rosales, she acknowledges, "Perhaps people can change. But I'm not sure my heart can take the chance of learning." However, Lola consents to work with Jobot, and as they taste new foods and talk ideas late at night, old passions rekindle. There is no denying their chemistry, and as the days pass, Kyle and Summer's tension only intensifies. Summer's secret can no longer be hidden by the middle of the week. The truth eventually comes out during a violent argument with Phyllis. Summer had been secretly monitoring Kyle and Lola, even going so far as to hire a private investigator to find out the truth behind Lola's return to Genoa City. Half impressed, half appalled, Phyllis cautions her daughter that she is treading carefully. "Summer, you're toying with fire. And you were burned the last time you tried that." Summer, however, will not give up. She believes that Kyle belongs with her, not Lola, and she will stop at nothing to defend him. Even her mother is shocked by her next step. With a smile that could shatter glass, Summer unexpectedly shows up at Lola's restaurant launch wearing her most gorgeous designer dress. As she walks up to Kyle and Lola's table, the tension in the room is palpable. Putting a hand on Kyle's shoulder, Summer asks calmly, "Well, isn't this cozy? I came to offer you both my congratulations. Certain reunions are worthy of celebration, don't they?" Lola refuses to take the bait and maintains her position. "I'm grateful, Summer. Coming from you means a lot." However, something inside of Summer erupts as she notices the glimmer of love in Kyle's eyes as he gazes at Lola. Summer storms out as the evening comes to an end, snarling, "He'll regret this," and threatening to cry. He always does. Kyle confides in Jack later in the week about the turmoil his heart is in. It's a touching and illuminating father-son interaction. Kyle acknowledges, "I thought I was past this. However, it feels as though the breathing portion of me has returned when I see Lola. Even still, I can't stop thinking about Summer and all that we've